Hey crew, welcome to another cracking Brisbane day. I'm currently on the M1 heading south towards our Sydney office for the 900 kilometre trek that is the gap between our two offices. Normally I would fly, but I thought I'd take the opportunity to drive down with a 17'6" feather top behind me. This is the single axle version of the entry level and by far our most popular van that we sell in the Hilltop range. I thought it was a good opportunity to see how it towed. Also, I wanted to see how the car responds with this van behind it. I did this trip about a year ago without a van, and as standard on eco mode in the car, I was able to drive from the two offices and got a single tank and still had about 200 k's left in the tank. So I am curious to see how we go. On this trip, I'm not going to go all the way through in one go to our office out towards Penrith, South Windsor there. I decided to stop at a place called Martinsville. It's a cute little place that I found on HipCamp. And I'm going to meet Lisa, the owner down there. I'm going to stay there the night and see what that place is all about, and then head down there in the morning. So stay tuned, we'll see how we go. Now, I don't intend to set any land speed records, but if I'm going to do 30 kilometres an hour all the way, she's going to be a long trip. I do love this drive between Brisbane and Sydney. Make no mistake, if the opportunity arrives for me to fly, I'll take that first. But if you're going to drive it, it's a pretty nice road to drive. Once you get past the craziness of the Gold Coast roadworks that hopefully finished in 200 or 300 years, then the road opens up and you have this beautiful dual carriageway at 110 kilometres an hour all the way through to Sydney, and you can comfortably sit on this. We're a couple of hours in and the van is towing amazingly. The Feathertop is such a well-balanced van. We've had a lot of comments over the years of being a single axle, 17'6". It's going to sway a lot on the road. It doesn't. It just doesn't sway on the road. It's a beautiful, beautiful van, whether it's trucks going past or me passing trucks or open fields where there's potentially going to be wind buffeting. It doesn't happen. And I understand the benefits of single axle versus dual axle. We've driven both at length. And I like them both, but I can see the benefits of a single axle. They're very agile, they're responsive, they're lightweight. I love towing them, they're a great van to tow. We have done a review on this. I'll put a link in the description so you can have a look at a little bit more detail about what this van is, but it's definitely worthwhile getting. All right, we've just clicked over 200 kilometers into the trip and we've used about a quarter of a tank in there, maybe a little bit more, so doing pretty well, I think. If you're towing a caravan, it is essential that you've got good visibility around you. In fact, it's a requirement for you to be able to see 20 metres direct line of sight from the driver's position down the side of the van. And at that 20-metre point, to be able to see 4 metres, that's either side of the van. The only real way to achieve that is with a set of towing mirrors. You've got two options. You can opt up to have the portable towing mirrors, which are just clip-ons and you can take them on and off, or you can opt up to what we've done, is put their MSA mirrors. Now, they are telescopic, they can fully extend either side of the vehicle, which give me full visibility down the side in line with requirements. If you want to know if there's a set of MSA mirrors that fit your vehicle, shoot us a message and we'll come back to you and give you an idea of cost to have that installed on your car. Okay, we've clicked over 550 k's. We're only a couple of hours from our destination for the night, which is very exciting. I did fuel up at Coffs Harbour earlier today. That took about $130 worth of fuel, a little bit more than I was expecting, but that's okay. We are obviously towing a caravan down. It also means that we shouldn't really have to fuel up until we get close to Sydney, if not actually back to the office. Anyway, I was prompted to share a bit of news with you guys because at the end of January, beginning of February, we were lucky enough to shoot with the team from What's Up Down Under. So Macca and the crew spent a couple of weeks with those guys and had some really just an amazing experience with these guys. That film shoot will actually come out. 4 different episodes are going to launch probably in April, so stay tuned for that. We'll let you know when they're on. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you see that, because one of the benefits I got from that is I got to film Macca. We did a little interview with him on sort of what he loves and his experiences as part of the show. So make sure you subscribe and see when that comes out. Crew, we've made it. Bunyip's Camp, and this is the owner, Lisa. Now, Lisa, you've been here for how long?
16 years.
16 years.
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about Bunyip's Camp. How big is this place?
So it's about 25, 26 acres, depending on how much land we get taken away or brought back every time it floods. But yes,
it's an acre that floats down the creek.
basically,
somewhere.
and then it comes back again next time it floods.
Right, so speaking of, you got a little creek that's actually just behind us here, and that you're saying is the main tributary down to?
Dora Creek.
Yep.
So Dora Creek goes out to the lake, so Lake Macquarie.
Yep.
And I've got a little trickle here that is the start of a big bustling creek that goes to a beautiful township that people do fishing and stuff at. But I've got a little trickle with no fish in it.
You don't come here for the fish, you
No.
come here to just relax, and it's a beautiful site. What's this site that we're in here?
This is the Hideaway.
Okay, and it's aptly named because honestly you can't see anybody here. There is somebody over there, you can't even see their setup, and yeah, absolutely beautiful. Now you're on Hip Camp. What's this site cost?
$36 from memory, $36 for 2 people.
Brilliant. Absolutely
nice.
awesome.
Yeah.
And you know, we've even arrived, there's already firewood here sitting here waiting for us. It's awesome. Can't wait to see here. We'll do a bit of cooking in a minute, but thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate
That's
it.
okay, thank you.
Alrighty crew, long day. Glad to be here. I've set up camp. It's going to be a pretty quick stop for the night, and I want to cook something pretty quickly. I bought with me the Camp Chef Explorer 14. If you haven't seen one of these before, jump online to our shop page. These have 2 giant burners on there. You can probably even hear them cooking away in there. I've got the griddle on top of this, so I'm going to cook up a couple of burgers. Yeah, nuts. Right, I brought with me some chicken breast, and thanks to Cameron Goff from Can't Fault It 4x4, some Lane's Sunday roast. Now, probably really more fitting for a piece of lamb or beef, but to be honest, don't care. This plus stuff tastes awesome, and you can have a Sunday roast chicken. Oh yeah. Right, if there is something better than that for on the road, I'd like to hear about it. Can confirm, very good. Good morning from Sydney. It is a beautiful day, even though we've got some foggy window outside. That place is a great place to stay last night. Feather Tops, very comfortable. If you want more details, look in the description. Definitely recommend booking there. I would love to stay a little bit longer if I had the time, but I've got to get down to Sydney for our open day. Breakfast of Champions. All right, I'm back on the highway. I've refueled, put about another $140 worth of fuel in the car this morning. I was confident I could have got all the way to the showroom without having to do that, but this is Sydney and I'm likely going to hit the Sydney traffic before too long, which means I could have been sitting here for hours and hours. I didn't want to put myself in this position. So anyway, about $270 worth of fuel down, 800 Ks in. If you've done this trip from Brisbane to Sydney, I'd love to know, especially with the caravan, I'd love to know what your fuel economy was. This of course is a big V6 twin turbo, so it is going to be a fairly thirsty beast on the way down, but it's also very comfortable, so I don't mind. Well crew, we've made it to South Windsor, about 940 Ks in, just over a day. That drive from Brisbane through to Sydney is, as expected, absolutely beautiful. The only downside of driving from Brisbane to Sydney in such a short space of time down the Pacific Highway is that you're going to bypass all those incredible places there are to stop along the way. So if you find time, hook up your van. Even if you don't hook up a van, get on the road and go and visit some of these incredible locations that exist south of the Queensland border. The Feather Top behind us towed incredibly well. Honestly, a 17'6" single axle van. I understand why this is the biggest seller for Hilltop. It towed incredibly well. For the most part, I didn't know it was behind us. Summary, 940 Ks. I fueled up twice, although realistically I probably could have just done it the once, but just for safety reasons, making sure that I had plenty of fuel in case we hit Sydney traffic. It's pretty good today, but we got all the way through. We probably spent, plus that 270 plus a little bit more this morning. Let's call it $300 worth of fuel to bring the van down, but yeah, it's spot on. Definitely recommend this van for sure. If you want to know more information about this van, don't forget there'll be a link in the description below to a little walkthrough. If you want to see one in person, be at either our centres in Sydney or Brisbane. So if you have any questions, reach out. We'll look forward to chatting to you soon, and as always, happy camping.